7 Stoic principles to handle people who don't respect you. In our modern world, encountering disrespect can feel like an inevitable part of life. Whether it's in the workplace, within our social circles, or even from strangers, disrespectful behavior can stir emotions ranging from frustration to anger. When people treat us poorly or dismiss our value, it's easy to feel hurt, defensive, or even compelled to retaliate. But what if there was another way to respond? One that doesn't involve letting others dictate how we feel or behave. The ancient philosophy of Stoicism offers profound wisdom on how to navigate disrespect without losing our peace of mind or compromising our integrity. Stoicism teaches that we can't always control how others treat us, but we can control how we react. Through deliberate, thoughtful action, we can maintain our composure and build resilience in the face of mistreatment. Here are 7 powerful Stoic principles that can help you handle disrespectful people with grace, strength, and wisdom. Number 1, understand what you can control and what you can't. The dichotomy of control. At the core of Stoic philosophy lies the dichotomy of control, a concept made famous by Epictetus, a former slave turned philosopher. The dichotomy of control divides life into 2 categories: things we can control and things we cannot. Stoics argue that true peace comes when we focus our energy solely on the first category, things we can control, while letting go of attachment to the second. In practical terms, this means we can control our thoughts, actions, and reactions to events, but not the events themselves or how others behave toward us. The Stoic approach to disrespect. When faced with disrespect, it's easy to get swept up in the immediate emotional reaction. We may feel the urge to defend ourselves, correct the other person, or retaliate. However, Stoicism teaches that we must pause and assess what is within our power to control. The behavior of others is outside of our control, but our response to their behavior is not. As Marcus Aurelius, one of Rome's most respected emperors and Stoic philosophers, wrote in his Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This sentiment captures the Stoic belief that our inner world is the only domain we truly possess. Practical exercise. Focus on your response. The next time you feel disrespected, take a deep breath and remember that you cannot control how others behave, but you can control how you react. Use this pause to ask yourself, what response will preserve my dignity? What can I do right now that aligns with my values and principles? This simple act of reflection gives you the space to choose how to respond, whether through calmness, assertiveness, or a decision to walk away. Real-world example. Think of a situation where a colleague belittles you in a meeting. While their words may sting, the Stoic approach would be to focus on maintaining your composure, knowing that their actions are beyond your control. You could choose to calmly continue your point, or, if needed, set a boundary by addressing the behavior respectfully without getting emotionally entangled in the exchange. Number 2, practice indifference to external opinions. The power of indifference. One of the most freeing aspects of Stoic philosophy is the idea of indifference to external opinions. People often disrespect us because they hold biased opinions or have misunderstood something about us. Yet, we have the power to decide whether or not to internalize these opinions. In Meditations, Marcus Aurelius frequently reminded himself to dismiss the opinions of others, writing, "It is not the things themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them." When others express negative judgments about us, it is essential to realize that their opinions are just that, opinions, not facts. We are not defined by what others think of us. Why do we care about others' opinions? From a psychological perspective, humans have an innate desire for social approval. Our brains are wired to seek acceptance from others because, throughout evolutionary history, being part of a group often meant survival. However, in the modern world, this drive for approval can lead us to attach our self-worth to the judgments of others. When others disrespect us, it triggers a deep sense of insecurity, as we feel their opinions are reflective of our value as individuals. Practical exercise. Reframing external judgments. Whenever you feel hurt by someone's opinion or disrespect, challenge yourself with a reframing exercise. Why does this opinion matter? Does this person have the authority or knowledge to judge me accurately? This helps shift the focus from their opinion to your own self-assurance and integrity. You can also practice saying to yourself, their opinion of me is not my business. Example from history. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius faced immense pressure throughout his life, yet he remained steadfast in his commitment to Stoic principles. Despite the criticism he likely faced due to his political decisions, his commitment to inner peace and virtue allowed him to remain indifferent to external judgments. His personal diaries, which became known as meditations, reveal that he sought inner tranquility regardless of how others saw him. Number 3, see the bigger picture. Empathy and perspective. Understanding the source of disrespect. Stoics advise us to practice empathy, to consider the context of others' actions and reactions. Most disrespectful behavior stems from an individual's own internal struggles, insecurities, or past experiences. When someone disrespects you, their behavior is often a reflection of their inner turmoil, not your value. Epictetus, in his teachings, urged individuals to consider the circumstances of others. He said, "When you are offended at any man's fault, turn to yourself and reflect in what way you are similar." Shifting to a bigger perspective. Instead of viewing disrespect as a personal attack, Stoics encourage us to view it from a larger perspective. Consider the situation not as an isolated incident, but as part of a broader picture. What could be going on in the other person's life that is influencing their behavior? By viewing the situation through this lens, you are able to reduce your emotional reaction and respond with compassion instead of anger. Empathy allows you to engage with others without getting caught up in their negativity. Practical exercise, the view from above technique. To practice seeing the bigger picture, imagine yourself rising above the situation, looking down from a higher vantage point. In this mental exercise, you can see the disrespectful person as just another human being, struggling with their own challenges, insecurities, or frustrations. This helps soften your emotional response and gives you perspective on their behavior. Real-life example. Imagine a situation where a friend abruptly insults you during a social gathering. Rather than responding defensively, you might reflect on their stress. Perhaps they are dealing with personal issues or feeling insecure. By seeing the situation from their perspective, you can respond with compassion and not let their behavior negatively affect you. Number 4, focus on your inner virtue, not external validation. Living according to your virtues. In Stoicism, the foundation of a good life is living in accordance with our inner virtues, not seeking approval from others. The Stoic virtues, wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, guide us in how we live and how we treat others. These virtues are internal qualities that we can control and cultivate, whereas external validation is beyond our reach. Wisdom teaches us to choose our actions carefully. Courage encourages us to do what is right even when it's difficult. Justice guides us in treating others fairly, and temperance reminds us to maintain self-control. When we focus on embodying these virtues, our sense of self-worth is no longer dependent on the opinions or behavior of others. Practical application. Virtue as your compass. In the face of disrespect, instead of focusing on retaliation, consider how you can respond in a way that aligns with your virtues. For example, if someone disrespects you, you might choose to act with wisdom by not engaging in conflict. You might also practice justice by setting boundaries or addressing the issue directly, but respectfully. Finally, practice temperance by controlling your emotional response. Example from history. Seneca, one of the most well-known Stoic figures. Seneca faced constant political turmoil and personal attacks. Despite the challenges, he consistently focused on living virtuously. When confronted with hostility or criticism, Seneca's response was not one of anger or retribution, but of maintaining composure, rationality, and integrity, core Stoic principles. Number 5, engage in rational reflection, not emotional reaction. The power of rational reflection. Emotions, while natural, can often lead us astray if they are not tempered by reason. The Stoics believed that in the face of adversity, we should not react impulsively, but rather engage in rational reflection. This gives us the ability to pause before responding and assess the best course of action. As Seneca wisely stated, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. This means that our emotional responses often exaggerate the severity of the situation. By practicing rational reflection, we can reduce the emotional weight of the situation and avoid acting on impulse. Practical application, the pause and reflect technique. When confronted with disrespect, practice the pause and reflect technique. Instead of immediately reacting with anger or hurt, take a deep breath and ask yourself, what is truly at stake here? What is the best response? This helps you avoid knee-jerk reactions and instead respond thoughtfully. Real-world example. Imagine someone at work takes credit for your idea during a meeting. Instead of reacting angrily, take a moment to reflect. Is it worth escalating the situation? Is there a more productive way to handle it? Through rational reflection, you may find that a calm discussion later on, or simply letting it go, might be the most beneficial approach for maintaining your peace. Number 6, embrace adversity as a catalyst for growth. Adversity as a tool for self-improvement. Stoics believe that adversity is not a hindrance, but a catalyst for personal growth. This includes the challenges we face in dealing with disrespect. Rather than seeing disrespect as an obstacle, we can choose to view it as an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Marcus Aurelius himself frequently wrote about how difficulties can help us develop patience, humility, and understanding. When we embrace adversity, we recognize that it is through challenges that we develop our virtues. Every moment of disrespect is a chance to practice Stoic principles and refine our character. Practical application. Reframe challenges as growth opportunities. Whenever you face a difficult situation or disrespect, ask yourself, how can this situation help me grow? What can I learn from this experience? By reframing adversity in this way, you train your mind to see challenges as opportunities for growth rather than threats to your peace of mind. Real-world example. A leader who faces constant criticism might use that feedback to refine their approach, strengthen their communication, or reevaluate their strategies. Instead of feeling defeated, they turn the challenge into an opportunity for personal and professional development. Number 7, let go of grudges. Freedom through forgiveness. The power of forgiveness. Finally, Stoic philosophy teaches that holding on to grudges only hurts the person who holds them. Resentment, anger, and bitterness create emotional baggage that weighs down the mind and soul. Forgiveness, on the other hand, is an act of freedom. Freedom from the negative emotions that bind us to past wrongs. Marcus Aurelius put it simply, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Forgiveness does not mean excusing the wrong, but rather releasing the emotional hold it has on us. Practical application, the practice of letting go. To practice forgiveness, focus on the freedom it brings. Instead of clinging to resentment, remind yourself that you are choosing peace. You can forgive without condoning the behavior, and in doing so, you free yourself from the emotional weight of past wrongs. Engage in mental exercises such as journaling or meditation to release grudges and cultivate inner peace. Real-world example. Consider a situation where someone wrongs you deeply. A friend betrays your trust. Holding on to that anger only keeps you tethered to the past. Choosing forgiveness, however, frees you from emotional bondage, allowing you to move forward without carrying the weight of resentment. Conclusion. Stoic wisdom as a path to emotional freedom. Disrespect is an unavoidable part of life, but how we respond to it is within our control. Stoic philosophy offers a powerful framework for handling disrespect with wisdom, strength, and emotional resilience. By understanding what we can control, practicing indifference to external opinions, embracing empathy, living according to our virtues, engaging in rational reflection, embracing adversity as a tool for growth, and letting go of grudges, we can transform the experience of disrespect into a catalyst for personal growth and inner peace. As we integrate these Stoic principles into our daily lives, we find that disrespect no longer has the power to disturb our inner tranquility. Instead, it becomes an opportunity to demonstrate strength, wisdom, and grace, qualities that lead to emotional freedom and a deeper understanding of ourselves and others. By living according to Stoic wisdom, we rise above the challenges of disrespect, choosing peace, virtue, and growth over emotional turmoil. Share your thoughts in the comments below. How do you handle disrespect, and which Stoic principle will you focus on today? I'd love to hear your insights and experiences. Stay calm, stay focused, and keep growing with Stoic wisdom. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.